Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Many times a star will not solve a team's problem, as happened in the past with Russell Westbrook at the Lakers. And it pays to have solid players to support stars at the level of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Being NBA champion depends on a good squad and reserves that maintain the level of the game in the same way as the starters. Rumors: Lakers and Portland can make a big deal involving several players. The Los Angeles Lakers give up a major draft asset but set the franchise up for years of competitive basketball in a mock trade with the Portland Trail Blazers. The Los Angeles Lakers aren't looking like major threats in the Western Conference this season. They're hanging on around the top 6 of the West with a 23-18 record, but they don't look like real challengers to teams atop the conference like the OKC Thunder or their rival Denver Nuggets. As the team's stars are losing faith in their ability to improve the roster, Rob Pelinka can pull a rabbit out of his hat. The Portland Trail Blazers are a tanking franchise who have already won too many games to secure top odds for the number 1 pick. With the potential of teams ahead tanking and with the teams below already being bad, the Blazers might get squeezed out of the top 5 of the 2025 draft. They need to consolidate for the future, and this Lakers trade offer might allow them to do exactly that. Los Angeles Lakers receive Anfernee Simons, $25.8 million, Robert Williams III, $12.4 million, Toumani Camara, $1.8 million. Portland Trail Blazers receive Rui Hachimura, $17.0 million, Gabe Vincent, $11.0 million, Jared Vanderbilt, $10.7 million, Jalen Hood-Schifino, $3.8 million, 2031 first-round pick, LAL. The Blazers have younger guards to prioritize instead of Simons, who's rearing to play for a competitive basketball team again. Parting with him and Robert Williams to get one of the most valuable future picks in the NBA, Lakers' 2031 pick, will be a phenomenal move. Meanwhile, the Lakers become a far better roster than they do right now. This deal completely transforms the Lakers' future prospects. The Blazers have a poor record by design, but there is a lot of talent on their roster. However, these players aren't good enough to be franchise cornerstones in Portland, but they could be incredible role players for contending teams around the NBA right now. Anfernee Simons is averaging 18.2 points and 4.9 assists this season. The 26-year-old guard is still considered young, but the Blazers have a few more years of rebuilding to go through before they can be a regular playoff threat. Robert Williams III is an end-of-the-rotation big that the Lakers could use to beef up their center spot, averaging 5.9 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks this season. Toumani Camara has been a breakout wing for the Blazers, averaging 9.5 points and 5.4 rebounds this season. The 24-year-old might not have a high ceiling and could thrive on a competitive team as a gritty role player. This deal makes the Lakers a much more competitive team, potentially on the same level as a squad like the Nuggets. The Thunder are the best team in the West on paper, but the Lakers would be better equipped to challenge them with this core. This deal completely transforms the Lakers. They can feasibly run a starting 5 with Simons, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Robert Williams III or Dorian Finney-Smith. It gives them options with multiple frontcourt options, including Davis at the power forward alongside Williams or at center with LeBron, Finney-Smith, and Camara also on the court. This makes them a proper playoff-caliber team, essentially substituting one crucial rotational player for 3 players who might be able to surpass the other's production. It's a bold trade to make, but it might be the most sustainable way for the Lakers to rejig their roster, as it lands them young stars who can keep the franchise competitive when LeBron and Davis inevitably start declining. If the Los Angeles Lakers stand pat at the NBA trade deadline, they'd be making a huge mistake. With the NBA trade deadline officially 2 weeks away, there are many teams with a big decision on their hands. In the Western Conference, the Los Angeles Lakers are one of those teams. Just a few games out of a top 4 seed in the conference, if the Lakers can make the right move at the deadline, there's reason to believe they could emerge as a dark horse threat in a wide-open West. However, at least for now, the whispers are that there's a better chance the Lakers make a small, and probably insignificant, move or stand pat rather than make a big splash. I'd say that would be a huge mistake and a missed opportunity for the Lakers. For a team that doesn't have the luxury to throw away another season, Los Angeles can't afford to continue to play the long game. That's exactly what they did at last year's trade deadline and even during the offseason. So far, it hasn't gotten them any closer to helping LeBron James win another title. The Los Angeles Lakers are failing LeBron James. Here's my biggest gripe with the Lakers: they can't continue to play both sides of the coin. The Lakers can't continue to ride the final few years of LeBron's year while also trying to build for the future. It shouldn't work that way. For LeBron, the Lakers should be as aggressive as they can be to build a contender around LeBron. For the past 2 seasons, Los Angeles has failed at every turn to do so. And it's not even just a disservice to LeBron, it's also one to Anthony Davis. According to a recent report, the two are concerned the Lakers won't be able to make a significant upgrade to their roster before the trade deadline. All because the Lakers front office continues to play the waiting game for what could be available during the offseason. To be quite honest, I'm not sure what the Lakers are theoretically waiting for. Looking across the league, what superstars would realistically be available during the offseason? Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to be traded this offseason. Even if he did demand a trade, the Lakers don't have the assets to get a deal done. That's the pipe dream of all pipe dreams. Joel Embiid? That could be a possibility, but he doesn't fit the Lakers at this point in his career. The only 2 other remote possibilities are De'Aaron Fox or Steph Curry, but the latter feels like pie in the sky as well. Maybe Fox is the target the Lakers are waiting for. Even then, it does sound a bit foolish to throw away another great season from LeBron at 40 years old to have the small chance of trading for a fringe all-star point guard. Over the past few seasons, the Lakers have failed LeBron. He may never admit it, but the lack of supporting talent that he and AD have had to play with is unfortunate. The fact that the Lakers are probably going to let another trade deadline come and go without a significant win-now move is even more depressing. Jared Vanderbilt is back, but will he help? The big news around the Lakers this week is the scheduled return of Vanderbilt, the forward set to play for the first time in nearly 12 months after a foot injury suffered last February led to surgeries on both feet this summer and a lengthy return-to-play program. Vanderbilt, who has been fully cleared, should be available Saturday night when the Lakers begin their Grammys trip in San Francisco against the Golden State Warriors. It's been a long journey, tough process, but I'm excited just to be in the position I'm in right now, Vanderbilt said Wednesday in his first interview since Media Day in late September. Details around the injury still are scarce, and there still are some questions, namely about Rob Pelinka's preseason claim that the Lakers had a lot of optimism that Vanderbilt would be playing when the real games start. Wednesday, Vanderbilt said the long recovery wasn't any longer than he expected, though knee swelling in December briefly stalled his comeback. Vanderbilt said his return was based on a number of factors, including him meeting certain benchmarks and testing more so than hitting any firm target dates. If that sounds vague, well, it is. Vanderbilt didn't really elaborate. Regardless, the plan is to ease him back into the rotation, where the Lakers can deploy him as a versatile defensive weapon who can create offense by forcing turnovers and scoring off smartly timed cuts. And if he makes open threes, all the better. Here's the other thing: if the Lakers decide to be active at the trade deadline, it's a pretty decent chance their wing depth will be changing. And, like we've detailed in this space repeatedly, the chances of the Lakers dealing Vanderbilt are severely hampered because of his injury history and the widely expected tax on including Vanderbilt in a deal. Vanderbilt has 3 years remaining on his deal, the kind of long-term money that's poison in trades. Multiple NBA executives believe the cost to include Vanderbilt in a trade is a first-round pick, meaning he's far more valuable to the Lakers as a usable player than he would be as part of a trade in which they would have to add assets and essentially be overpaying for whatever they got back. It's hard to think he'll be able to change that perception in a couple of weeks, the rust from being sidelined 11+ months basically guaranteed to be an issue.